Hello everyone, I am Jian Wang from Carnegie Mellon University. Today, I'm going to talk about semi-supervised 3D object detection via temporal graph neural networks. This is joint work with Jaime, Sid, Eating, and David Held. In this work, we focus on 3D object detection, which is an essential and fundamental problem in autonomous driving, object manipulation, and augmented reality. In recent years, many approaches have emerged and achieved high performance on various benchmark datasets. Despite the impressive performance, most of the existing approaches are strongly supervised and require the availability of a large amount of well-annotated data. Labeled 3D annotations are always time-consuming and expensive to collect. On the other hand, in most applications, point clouds are recorded over time as a data stream. A point cloud video contains richer spatial temporal information than a single frame. For example, a false negative or missing detection can be identified if the same object is detected in the adjacent frames but is missing in the current frame. A false positive detection can be identified if the detection is isolated, which means a corresponding detection occurs neither in the previous nor the subsequent frame. A misalignment can be identified if the alignment differs significantly between successive video frames. Can we utilize this information to improve a single-frame 3D object detector? Yes, through semi-supervised training. Here is an overview of our proposed method. Given a pre-trained 3D object detector, our method consists of a teacher, which performs spatial temporal reasoning for 3D object detection. The teacher is then used to provide pseudo-labels to train student, which takes as input only a single frame. We use uncertainty-aware training to handle incorrect pseudo-labels produced by the teacher. The detector is then updated to provide better decision candidates. The teacher and student can be updated alternatively to keep improving the performance. Consists of two modules, a 3D object detection module and a spatial temporal reasoning module. The 3D object detection module can be any existing 3D object detector, which is initially trained from only a limited amount of labeled data. We then input each frame into a 3D object detector to find the detected objects in the scene. To smooth these detections and create more accurate pseudo-labels, we propose a novel spatial temporal reasoning module. We build a video graph over the frame of 3D object videos, sequence of point clouds, and use a graph neural network to output new scores for each detection node based on the principle of spatial temporal consistency. This spatial temporal reasoning module is trained on the same labeled data as the 3D object detection module. We extract a set of high-level features of each candidate detection as node features, including detection score, number of points in the detection box, size of the detection box. Each node is connected to the neighboring nodes within the neighboring frames. We also add edge features, including center distance between each pair of boxes, the difference in the size along each dimension, and the difference in the bounding box orientation. The detector is updated as an exponential moving average of the students to provide better pseudo-labels. To prevent the graph neural network from overfitting, we use data augmentation. We propose trajectory-level copy and paste. We first assign each object an identity based on its center distance to the closest ground truth object. Then, detections with same identity from a trajectory. Similarly, we also randomly remove trajectories from current videos as a form of data augmentation. To further increase the diversity of our data, we propose to randomly select the first frame and the last frame from a video to form a sequence of frames using the graph. We also propose to add random noise to the location, size, orientation, and detection score of individual detections. This is to simulate errors of pre-trained object detector on more diverse unlabeled data. One of the most prominent challenges in training on pseudo-labels is that they are not guaranteed to be accurate. Our solution is to leverage uncertainty in the pseudo-labels. For examples with high uncertainty, we discount the contribution of the corresponding example during training. This is intended to reduce the effect of incorrect labels in semi-supervised training. We first calibrate the pseudo-labels so that the probability associated with the predicted label reflects its ground truth correctness likelihood. We use the entropy of the calibrated score as a measure of uncertainty. This uncertainty is then used to weight the pseudo-labels during training the student. K is a focusing parameter, where K larger than 0, which helps the model focus on the sample with low uncertainty, and P is a prediction of our student network. To avoid the students learning from large amount of unreliable pseudo-labels, we propose gradual semi-supervised training. In a nutshell, the student is trained with a mix of labeled and unlabeled data, while the amount of unlabeled data increases gradually in each iteration. The 3D object detector is pre-trained with 50 scenes from new scene string, and we use 500 scenes from new scene string for semi-supervised training, 100 scenes from new scene string as a validation set. For testing, we use 100 scenes from new scenes validation as test, and we use MAT as our evaluation metric. As can be seen, our method outperforms all baseline methods. But there is still a small gap from the supervised method. Instead of using our proposed temporal graph neural networks, we adopt a 3D multi-object tracker to reason about the spatial temporal information. This shows the effectiveness of our proposed temporal graph neural network. Without iteratively training the student and the teacher, our method depreciates a lot since the teacher is not improved. We also show uncertainty weights is important to our method as it prevents the student to learn from incorrect pseudo-labels. Finally, we show the efficiency of our proposed data augmentation to prevent the temporal graph neural network from overfitting. Here we show our method successfully correct the false positive detections. We also show our method successfully correct the false negative detections. In conclusion, we propose to leverage unlabeled point cloud videos by semi-supervised training. Our method incorporates uncertainty-aware semi-supervised training with a graph neural network for spatial temporal reasoning. Our method achieves state-of-the-art detection performance on the challenging new scenes and H3 benchmarks. Our method removes the need for excessive efforts in data annotation. This work is sponsored by Honda Research Institute, USA, and National Science Foundation. Thank you for listening.